Ooga booga, my fellow bearers. Welcome back to another episode of the Berachain Ecosystem Spotlight series. Today we have Honeypot Finance, and I have Wilson here with me. Hey Wilson, how are you doing?
Hey, Moose, I'm doing great. Yeah, excited to join your show, and I'm really glad to be here.
Yeah, likewise, happy to hear what you guys have to share about Honeypot. And let's kick it off maybe with a quick introduction of yourself and what Honeypot Finance is.
Sure, no problem. So myself, I'm a CEO of the Honeypot Finance, and I'm actually a technical CEO. I'm super technical on the technical side, in charge of all the areas, including the smart contract and the front end code. If there's any issues, I will actually jump in to help with my team. And I in charge with a lot of other areas for my project as well. So in regards to the Honeypot itself, so we are building a DeFi hub, the Berachain. So we have had this idea since 2012 August. We are one of the first projects that decided to build on the Berachain because we are seeing the new concept of the proof of liquidity and I want to actually join the space as early as we can. So from the 2022 August to currently now, we have done really amazing job in the space. So first of all, in around 2023, we went through the initial version of the batch ATM protocols, and that protocol won the East Shanghai to be the hackathon winner of the East Shanghai, and we don't have the white paper published. And also, we have the user activity participating the testnet, the testing with that protocols. And around 2023, September or August, we have the idea for the FTO, the file token offering mechanism, which can actually fairly launch a token than the inscription. So we want to actually build is actually a entirely different launchpad model that can revolutionize the space. So as we see the inscription idea coming, we notice okay, there's no need for the VC and something that we can cook is to be really fair and transparent. So we have had the idea of that model by the time. So it was about this year, like January or February. So the Berachain V1 testnet coming into the space. And we also published our V1 testnet. And it's quite exciting to see that a Berachain's V1 testnet is actually super fit with our FTL model and the general architecture that we designed. Because the idea that FTL model can launch the token fairly and automatically to be traded in the DEX is something that the user really happy to see about. So we have a 79 wallet active, the loyal user, OG user who participate on the launch, and they participate in total more than 250 launches. So that's really great number that we've seen. Then we continue to develop and to build. So in this 10, like in a couple of months ago, maybe 2 months ago or something, the CTO Taki and I, we have the idea to build a custom hook that could actually further to push our model. So the custom hook can actually enable the TGE, vesting, and a lot of the custom features that is can be done with our current FTTL models. And we also see a really great job done by other side of the business other than the product development. We did a pretty good raise. We just announced that the 20 million valuation closed with our strategic round. And also we have had a successful NFT launch in the past as well. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. Honeypot.
Right, thank you. And congrats on the recent raise. Did I hear you correctly when you mentioned that you guys had these ideas from 2012?
2022, that's when we started the Honeypot Finance on the Berachain.
Oh, 2022, is that right?
Yeah, 2022. Yeah.
Ah, yes, yes, yeah. I must have misheard. I heard like 2012. I'm like, wow, it's like 12 years ago.
No, that's not the case.
All right, cool. Got it. So I'm why like, get onto Berachain, like what about POL kind of attracts you guys to build on Berachain, right? Because and also maybe why you decide to build like a DEX and a launchpad since, it's I guess there's native DEX on Berachain as well. And of course you could have done this on any other chain. So like why Berachain?
This is a really great question. So we see the Berachain has the proof the liquidity concept actually coming out in 2022. And we think that's a really, really good thing for the space. And after the Luna crash and everything, actually people are, have the hesitation about the the models. But we take this as an opportunity and we decide to actually to join. And by the time the proof of liquidity model is not the model that we see from the today's, it was much more risky than the current model. So they have the stable coin is actually more like the computational stable coin, and there's a bunch of other things that we see that's really, really risky. But we think that the team really has a mindset to actually build something great. So we did the trust. And from the V1 testnet, one of the amazing things that we really see is actually the Berachain V1 makes so many change that makes this protocol to be much secure and safe. And so they no longer have the computational stablecoin. Instead, the stablecoin is actually mint from with USDC. And with the V2 testnet, we also see some another positive change. So the someone who actually delegate the BGT on the product set, it want to be slashed out of the token. So that's another really positive change that I see. This is the kind of the team that we see is always involved and always making the positive change and with the protocol and keep perfection. And that's what we really like about it. And in terms of Honeypot itself, I think we have actually contributed really great value in the space as well. So the Berachain itself is missing is the long tail asset flourish. So we are actually building the protocol to help this part to really flourish the long tail asset. And we are doing it really differently because we have actually a different models. So the design of our model is pretty similar to the Berachain's design. Let me actually explain it a little bit. So from what we are building is actually we are trying to solve one of the biggest problem in the DeFi space, which is the liquidity segmentation. But not like the Berachain is solving the liquidity segmentation problem in a chain level. We are trying to solve this problem in a DApp level. So what we are actually building is actually from the launchpad itself. It's not launching the single regular token. It's actually launching the LP token. So the project will actually put the amount of the token they want to launch into the pool. So the user will actually put the participation token, for example, our one governance token, the Honeypot, or maybe the stable coin like Honey into the pool. It depends on the project and how we choose the whitelist token to be available for user to participate. But anyway, so they will actually form the pool with LP token. So after the launch, so each party, the both project and user, they got a 50% of the LP token. So this helps several benefits. First, there's no predetermined price from the project set. So the whole price discovery journey is through the launch, how user is actually actively participate in the launch. So if the no user to come to the launch, then the price will actually be zero because there's no user to come to the launch. But if there's many users to participate in the project launch and people are thinking about this project is a help, then the price will actually definitely to be higher, set to be higher. So this is the first thing. There's no predetermined price. So user buys at the file price when actually they participate in the launch. And secondly, this is a really good model to actually maintain the price because one of the model beautiful setup is the AMM formula is the constant K formula. When you actually remove the liquidity, the two reserve multiplied together still to be the constant K. So that means if someone actually remove the liquidity, the price wouldn't be affected. With a traditional model, if someone actually sells the token, the price actually would definitely, most likely, would actually goes to the negative direction to go down because it actually feels a selling pressure. But with our model, it's not like that way. So this is really similar to the Berachain's one design. So with the BGT and the bearer, So people who has a BDT can be actually burned to the bearer, and only when they sell the bearer, they would actually face the selling pressures. But the same case, like you can think of our model is like the same. Remove the liquidity, there's not actually affecting the price, and only the people remove the liquidity and sell the liquidity, it could potentially affect the price. But we also have the build mechanism. For example, they burn the liquidity to address this issue. People can choose to burn the token that they launch, but only just against the fund. So in that way, it still actually maintain the price. And thirdly is because since it's actually launching the LP token, so the LP token and what the people is trading in the DEX is also the LP token. So we use the Oracle to automatically add the liquidity into the DEX side. So right after the launch of their token, so their token would be immediately able to trade in the DEX. And this has enabled more users to come, and also which is also good for those projects to actually utilize their liquidity, because the traditional model, the liquidity is actually restricted in one place. For example, if the people to go to the launchpad after launch, the people need to actually find some other place to list a token like DEX or SEX. But with
Mm-hmm.
us, liquidity is already there right after launch. And more beautiful part of that is whether it's you are the user or whether you are the project, you already start to earning the transaction fee from the other user to come. So that means the user would be much more willing to stay to be the LP provider, because after launch, they already start to earn the transaction fee. Again, this is really similar to the Berachain model. So people would be more willing to hold the BGT, because the BGT will actually delegate with their voting right. If you hold the BGT and you always can do the bribe, and you earn your benefits. And if you burn your BGT to the bearer, then there's not much benefit. For us, it's the same. Like if you hold the LP token, you can always actually earning the transaction fee, and you can actually also get the other part of the incentive from our big flywheel model. We have actually integrated a lot of the partner protocol to ensure that they can constantly receive the incentive and benefits. So if they remove the liquidity and then sell the token, then that wouldn't be something that they can enjoy anymore. So from this perspective, the people would actually more willing to actually stay within the pool and earn their interest instead of actually selling the token. So it's a great mechanism to maintain the token price and everything as well. So lastly, it's actually the custom hook. Like through the custom hook, it's actually can even further push our model. So people can choose to the TGE and Wisely schedule to release the token. So this further reduces the selling pressures, because the economic incent the model is like this: the less supply, the more people come into actually demanding the higher token price. So we are kind of like building a really safe mechanism itself, ensure that the model itself would actually be really good to actually maintain the price and pumping the token price. So that's the other model cannot have.
Okay, okay, got it. Maybe let me just recap and correct me if I get any parts incorrect.
Sure.
So you guys are launching the launchpad where all the tokens are at a fixed price, right? And when users are buying the token, they are buying the LP token instead of the token itself. Is that right?
Yes, I think mostly right, but there's no predetermined price. So all the user get the same price. It is a form of the LP token, means like the user receive is actually, for example, if the project launch a token A, and they use maybe the token B, let's say the Honey to participate in the token, what they would actually is actually the token A token B pair. So does that make sense?
Okay, okay. So it's like purchasing, I don't know, for example, $1 for one LP token instead of a specific amount of tokens per dollar. Is that right?
Yes, yes, yes. So they basically, you can understand this way. They receive some of their one participation token back, because it's actually the pair token that they receive.
Okay, okay, got it. And then like once the token sale, it's over, technically your pool is already live and it just goes on to the HenloDEX by Honeypot, right?
Yes, yes. So the liquidity automatically would be added to the HenloDEX, and people can do the trading and all the activities in our DEX. And also, I would like to mention our DEX is actually improved version of the Uniswap v2, the batch ATM protocols. Through our DEX, it's really more benefit to for them to be the LP provider because we as with LP DEX we enables a lot of the DEX feature like having the people to add a single side liquidity. So that is actually from the balancer formula can actually do it by this. So being able the people to add a single side liquidity, all these features with our DEX will actually prevent the permanent loss for the LP provider. So that's another benefit that they can enjoy with our DEX along with the BGT emission. So there would be a lot of the incentives that they finally actually would be receiving.
Okay. Sorry, you mentioned you guys can do single-sided liquidity on HenloDEX.
Yes.
How does that work again? Sorry.
So with Uniswap, like for example, a lot of the DEX you have to actually provide the liquidity on the two side. With our DEX, we take advantage of the balance formula, so people can actually just add the single side liquidity. So from our DEX itself, you will actually anticipate, for example, the a lot of the long tail assets that we launch from our launchpad. On the other hand side, because we enable the long tail asset, and people can also just like the partner protocol can also just deposit liquidity. Our DEX, for example, what we can do is actually some of the protocols they deposit half of the liquidity of their governance token in our DEX, and we contributed another half. And people can actually easily to trade this token, and both us and the partner project, they will not actually suffer any impermanent loss. That's something that not only as a launchpad, we also take the DEX function further. So it's really going to be really convenient too for the partner project as well.
Okay, okay, got it. Thanks. And I also see that you guys have limit orders available on your DEX as well.
Yes,
Nice. I think like
that's
so.
not going to be on the day one though.
Okay,
I actually need to highlight on that. It's going to actually continually actually when we actually building the product and we enable this feature because this feature is actually provided by the Chainlink Oracle protocols. Needs to take some time to actually take it into the place.
okay, okay, got it. Yeah, I think it's really cool. I think so far the only limit order that I've used on the DEX is on Jupiter. I don't think I've seen it on other DEXs, but I might be wrong.
Mhm.
And so I think that's really cool. All right. Do you want to go into like the batch A2MM?
Sure, no problem. So the batch ATMM is working basically like this. So our DEX protocol actually comprises on the two parts, enable the people actually to do the trading. It's the improved version of the Uniswap V2 model. And what we are actually enable is actually, firstly, the stage is actually we use a batch auction, which means that we gather the order on both sides for the people who wanted to trade the token. For example, there are some people who wanted to trade the token A for the token B. They want to get the token B to but actually provide the token A. On the other hand side, there are users who want the token A but provide the token B. So one of the scenarios which happens is actually with the traditional and the models, the implementation taking place immediately, like one order for person A and one order for the person B. Its implementation is implemented directly. So this has a lot of the actually disadvantage. One of the disadvantages is slippage will happen. Let's say some people, a group of people come around almost at the same time, right? So the price will actually slippage around this period. That doesn't really make sense because they would actually take the different price. So what we do is actually okay, we kind of like a delay a little bit of time. So we gather the order on both sides, And when like maybe every 10 seconds or maybe every 20 seconds, we gather the orders for on both sides. And after that, then if everything is balanced and the trade will actually be implemented directly and people will actually get the really smooth experience without any slippage. But there could be the scenario or situation where order come from the disproportionately. So in that case, some orders in the batch cannot be filled, and this is a scenario that the HTML would actually come into place to actually prevent a sandwich attack. Basically, we take the it's a HTML is the mechanism that selecting the best priced AMM from the set of pool to perform the swap. So basically, we have the rerouting mechanism built in with our protocol. If we see any the hacker can take advantage of the anti-sandwich attack, so the better HTML protocol will actually prevent that happen. So in overall, together, two mechanisms come together, makes a perfect protocol to prevent sandwich attack and also prevent slippage. And so that's kind of mechanism that we built. So the how the order was actually triggered, maybe let's say for every 20 seconds or 10 seconds, is also through the chaining automation mechanism, the Oracle. So the Oracle like check every every 20 second or every 10 second in time, and then gather the order. So and trigger the implementation.
Okay, okay, got it. Nice. Thanks for sharing that. And the next thing I want to go into is the BeeHive Node. Do you want to
Mhm.
share a bit more on what that is and what can users do with that?
Sure, no problem. So this is something that we are actually planning to run together with our communities. So we want to really improve the decentralization level of the Berachain. So one of the things that the decision that we made is actually we are actually deciding to run our validators ourselves. So this model essentially what actually enables us to do is we can actually gain some revenues from our validator and the gas fee and the BCV fees. And if you have actually watched our past Twitter, so one of the scenarios that we can support is actually we have some our one tokens, which is the our governance token HPOT. So from our flywheel design, we enable the to support the HPOT to earn the BGT. So how it works is the community member obtain the BGT by investing the HPOT. So they can provide the HPOT into the pool and then get the BGT and further to use this to delegate the BGT to delegate their own interest. So this is kind of like a flywheel that we built and we want to actually the user to enjoy the benefit for that part.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so basically holding HPOT or like any, sorry. So basically holding
HPOT, yeah, it's basically a HPOT.
HPOT to receive like the BGT tokens from the validator node run, which is your BeeHive node, right? Run by Honeypot Finance.
Yes, kind of like that. Yeah.
So do I have to be in the LP pool or can I just be holding it in my spot wallet to qualify for that?
You have to actually provide the liquidity into the LP pool. Yeah, basically just but it's actually we also have the part from the so it's a little bit complicated. We have the part from our BRAB. It's actually we take a use of the BRAB so that we reward the user who dedicate BGT as well, so they can actually receive the honeypot. So user who actually delegate BGT to us and receive the honeypot HPOT governance token, then they can use this honeypot HPOT token to deposit into the LP pool and receive the BGT emission again. So this is like
Mm-hmm.
a two-way flywheel cycle that they're able to do with our protocols.
All right. Yep. So basically providing liquidity in the LP pool and then earning the BGT tokens as emissions directed from the validator node, right?
Yes, yes. They just need to actually delegate the BGT through us. Yeah.
Okay, got it. And the next thing I want to ask is about the HoneyGenesis NFT. So what is that about?
So It's a little bit actually complicated to actually explain everything, but to take it a really simple point, so just think of the HoneyGenesis as a improved version of the Saga. So I assume that a lot of people that are already really familiar with the Sonata ecosystem, and some of you probably actually bought the Saga phone. And one of the features that the Saga phone enables is actually, if you want the Saga phone, you receive some airdrop from the Sonata ecosystem. So we are kind of like an improved version of that, because for our NFT holders, just think the HoneyGenesis NFT as a way to help you to gain the airdrop token. Since we have the Launchpad business, we launch a lot of the top tier Berachain project, and a user would actually receive the part of the income that we receive, the LP token. We ourselves, we allocate this income to our NFT holders, and they receive those top tier project token, but they can actually do more than the Saga. So what Saga cannot do is leverage. Saga cannot really leverage your income. For example, if you are receiving the airdrop token from the Saga, it's just sitting there, so it's not actually doing anything. But what we are enabling is actually people can actually do something, receive the token by holding the HoneyGenesis NFT. So what's something about that is from our launchpad, some of our top tier Berachain token would actually be on our whitelist. So they can choose again to use this received token to participate in another campaign and get more tokens. So it's like they're leveraging their received the token to get more token. So essentially they'll be able to, okay, they receive one token, then use this token to actually get another token and many more tokens. It's actually, through the time, the value that they receive the token would be more and more. So it's actually the way that they're leveraging their income, and it's free income, but they can use this free income to actually get more, so which is pretty good. Another thing that I would also like to mention is actually we are not actually launching too many NFT. So the number of our NFT is way lesser than the number of the Saga phone. So this makes the NFT to be really, really unique. So the intensity that they can receive the token by wanting our NFT is much more than the Saga phone. And we have the launchpad model that is actually built in it, could actually make it possible to produce many 10x and 20x or even more tokens. Assume that would be, some of them even go 100x, and they receive actually a bit more because we have less NFT than the Saga phone. So it's basically something that's really good about them to actually receive the long-term benefit. Maybe some of our users will be able to build their financial freedom by having our NFT. So that's possible.
Gotcha. And where can users who are interested in getting the HoneyGenesis NFT purchase one?
So currently, user can go to either the OKX or the OpenSea to get our HoneyGenesis NFT.
Okay, got it. I think my next
Just
question.
one thing actually to mention about.
Yep.
So our NFT OKX is blue verified. So you can easily find and to see this is the NFT from us, and being able to actually get all the benefit and a good thing for you. But on the OpenSea, our NFT is not a blue tick verified. So I would suggest you actually, if you don't know much about the project, always go to the OKX first, because you are able to just you see the blue tick, this is the right NFT to buy. There are some fake HoneyGenesis NFT that we see some bad actor. They are trying to actually to be us, like, because this NFT can get so many benefits for the user. Some bad actor takes that. Just be cautious about it to get the right NFT for you. And yeah, that's something that I really just want to say. If you don't know much about our past, just trust the blue tick, and nothing can go wrong with that.
Good advice. Yeah, and actually the OKX link is in the link tree that can be found in their Twitter bio, so that'll be a safe way to
Yes,
go in.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Next one will be on the HPOT token. Are you able to share or what can you share more about the token utility and the tokenomics?
Sure. So the HPOT tokens is our one governance token. So the governance token enables us to help us actually to make some important decision for the community. That's first part. The decision about something like in which product feature, for example, they want us to build first or whatever. So those kind of important decision stage, the HPOT holder would be able to actually to help to participate and help us to build a stronger communities. And the second part is actually they can actively actually participate our flywheel model, which is I already mentioned about before. So you can actually use the HPOT token to deposit this token into the LP pool and receive the BGT and use this received BGT to delegate it through our validator and then receive more HPOT token. So this is a good source of income that you can gain as well. And we also have a lot of the utilities to build around it. Essentially, we want to actually make the honeypot itself to be not only just about the launchpad and the DEX. So what we actually build is actually the DeFi hub. So we want to actually incorporate as many as interesting protocol that take the best use of the LP token. So basically, we want to actually make the DeFi hub to make sure that people can actually build a super DApp and to take best use of the LP token. So we have the part to be called the contributor program. So while in the future we use some part, a small portion of the part, to let the community developer to participate and build the custom hook with us, just like what Uniswap before does. There are some other part of the token that we plan to use for building more protocol that can integrate with us from the DEX side. For example, one of the things is actually that we are thinking about is so how user can actually take further use of the LP token on the DEX side. So this could be this LP token to go to some of the, for example, the on-chain lottery protocols, and they just use this LP token in that protocol, and they can just receive the lottery. It's a surprise, another surprise that they will actually receive from the user side. So since we hold a lot of the fund ourselves, this could be probably the lottery could come from, for example, our one invested project, and they could actually receive some of the token from there. Could also be the other part of the benefit. So essentially, we want to more the user to receive the future protocol that built from us, and also the benefit from those future protocols. So part of the token is actually used in that way as well. So that's kind of the draft plan that we made. It's going to be really long to build a super DApp, but once it's actually built, through the integration with our one ecosystem, through integration with rest of the partner protocols, the Honeypot NFT holders they can enjoy many benefits.
Okay, got it. Right, I think the last two questions I have for you. The first one, just curious on how big is the team, and maybe you could run us through a few of the team members as well.
Yeah. So the team member is about we are around 5 developers, including me. I'm the developer as well. So we have the 2 smart contract developer, except me and Taki, and 2 front-end developers. I take myself as a front-end developer as well. We have another front-end developers, so that makes an entire team to be the 5 developers. And we also have the team to actually taking the operational side, is including the marketing manager to actually build our Twitter marketing, and also the finance, who is actually smooth our the finance, and we also have the designer and a video editor to design the good content for the users. And besides that, we also have the team member, the mod. We have around 5 mod to actively to manage our communities. So they are our team members as well. And BD, so the total team size is about 15, which is kind of like a medium to large team already. But we also know that there's a limitation still what our team can do. So one of the approach that we take is actually, especially for the development, we still want to actually collaborate with us good protocol, what we can do and what we can build. So how user would actually receive the token from our launchpad, the NFT holders. So we made the decision to build our NFT staking game with Animers Lab. So the part of the team, we take the design, we take a pretty serious look at the code and the troubleshooting the issue and fix the bugs and give the feedback to the Animers Lab team. And their developer is also helping us to build this NFT staking game. So we ensure if there's something that our team side we couldn't cover because we are focusing primarily our main protocols, we have the backup, really good backup source we can call develop and build something really interesting and good for the users. So that's something that we do as well. I take them as the external team to help us build something together.
Okay, okay, got it. All right, and the last question from my side. What else can we expect from Honeypot in the coming months, and what's the end goal look like for you guys?
Yeah. So the goal is pretty clear. Since Berachain has launched the V2 testnet, so the user would be able to see our V2 coming soon as well. So from this V2 testnet from the Honeypot Finance, we make a really good smooth experience for people how they can launch a token and then be able to trade the token. Especially we are rewriting everything about our front end framework. So we added the cash part to make sure that the liquidity pair is actually cash and then display. So the whole displaying experience is going to be really, really smooth. So this part, I expected that a user can actually test and see this part in this month. So that's the first thing that they will actually be able to see and test out just within this month. In very soon after the this month or sometimes later, we are going to actually build the extended FTO model. So, and along with a custom hook. So, understanding our code maybe is not too easy for the community developers. So, what we do is actually, our internally, we get to actually write some paradigm. For example, the paradigm that we are going to do is actually the vesting features and along with the TGE features for the custom hook. So after that, we're going to announce our tokenomics, which would actually getting the interest from all the community Berachain developer. Another side job that Tarky and I was doing is actually we actively build a Berachain developer communities. So we have around 400 developers in these developer communities.
That's
Um,
nice.
so we want to actually, those good developers, they can actually join as the community developer to help to build the custom hook part. They also receive the benefit with our one governance token by building those the custom hook. The same idea for the Uniswap V4 that how they reward the communities. We want to actually let the custom hook idea to be flourished. So and also extended FTO model that's going to happen in next quarter and it's coming very soon. And also through the mainnet, as we're already actually building our NFT game, so user would actually be able to actually use this NFT game to stake their NFT to earn the launchpad income. So we have almost everything. The code is down. We just need to actually have the NFT to migrate to the mainnet of the Berachain and review their NFT for them and let them to stake and earn the interest and earn the incentive and everything. Essentially, I think the income that they receive, each of them, would actually be more than the price that they bought for the NFT, way much more. So we want to give all this nice thing to our users. This is going to be happening around the mainnet. So that's basically the plan, like in the futures. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think lots to look forward to for Honeypot Finance. And I think that is all the questions I have for you today. Before we go off, is there anything else that you want to touch on that you might have missed?
I think you did a really, really great job in almost everything you covered. It's really pleasure to talk to you. Oga booga.
Ooga booga. All right, and I think that is all for today's episode. As usual, all the links will be down in the description box below, so do check Honeypot out. And thanks, Wilson, for taking the time to come on and share more about Honeypot Finance. That is all today. We will see you in the next episode.
Thanks for hosting the show.